677 licensed NES games were released in North America. Trying to complete the entire library would seem to be like an insurmountable task, but with the games that we just picked up, a complete NES set is starting to become a reality.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
What is up, Internet? Retro here, and welcome back to another episode of The Retro Life. Basically, the day in the life of a retro game and toy collector, buyer, and reseller. We cover it all here on this series. And today, it is all about the NES, the original Nintendo, one of my favorite consoles of all time. Now, you guys probably saw my video from a couple weeks ago where I bought a massive video game collection from a fellow retro video game YouTuber. His name is RetroWolf88, and it was an insane video, guys. We bought a huge collection. It was a almost $20,000 purchase, and we got the entire Nintendo GameCube set. Now, that was kind of the main reason why I bought this lot of games, this collection of games, was because of that. But there were tons of other games in this huge bundle. There was NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, PS2, even some N64 games in this lot. Now, I knew that I wanted to keep some of these games to add to the collection other than the GameCube games, but I also knew that I was going to try to flip a lot of the other games to kind of recoup my money from this huge purchase. If you guys are out there and you are a retro game collector at this point, you know that is the name of the game. You have to do that nowadays because these games are so dang expensive. You buy big collections, you buy lots of games, and then you keep what you need, and then you flip the rest to try to recoup your money. That is also how Matt RetroWolf88 has built his collection, so he knew exactly what I was doing, but I did think to myself, man, there are quite a few NES games in this collection, and I also have quite a few NES games. Now, I have never really thought to myself, I want to go for like a complete original Nintendo collection because there are a lot of games. I think the number for licensed NES games is 677, which is a ton. But then I started looking at my collection. I looked at all the games that I was getting from Matt. I think there was like 260. I started to think, how many games do I actually have? Well, I counted up all of my original NES games, and I have 315 in my personal collection, so almost half. So then I started to think, is this possible? Like, I don't even know how many games I'm going to be able to add from all of these games from this other collection, and I thought, man, maybe I could go for the complete NES set. Now, I know there are a ton of games and a ton of really hard games to get, and even the 315 that I haven't really went like hardcore trying to collect these games. They're just from lots. They're from, you know, when I pick them up at a random place. I haven't really went hardcore in trying to collect for the original Nintendo. But I will say I have always loved the original Nintendo. It's actually what I first started collecting for. I was collecting for the NES back in like the mid to late 90s. I was like 12 years old collecting for the NES. You know, everybody else was playing PlayStation 1, N64, and I was like the weird kid that just wanted to collect NES games. I was going to pawn shops, garage sales, and I was buying these up when nobody else wanted them. Like, back then, it wasn't really cool to collect games. It's still probably not cool, but for us it is. But back then, people didn't see it even as an investment. You know, they weren't worth very much, and I was buying these games for like $1, $2 all over the place. And I had this massive collection. I think it had like 350 to 400 games. A lot of them were boxed, and then one day, I sold them, all right? I was in high school. I wasn't really playing video games very much anymore. And guys, I sold my complete collection of NES games for freaking rims for my Ford Explorer. Yes, the worst thing ever. Like, I think about that all the time. I had huge heavy hitters in that collection, and I sold them for rims. Like, I can't believe it. Where those rims are now, they're probably in a landfill someplace. I don't know where they're at, but that's what I did. And you know, like about 7 years ago, I started collecting video games again, pretty intentionally. And here we are at 315 games. Now what I'm thinking is, if I want to go for a complete NES licensed set, 677 games, I want to at least get to half at least half of the games with all these games that I'm getting from this collection. So I think that is 24 more games that I need to add to my 315 to get to the halfway mark. If we get to the halfway mark, I am going to try to complete the NES set, which sounds insane, but I think it is possible. I think it is possible, especially since I get to go to a bunch of conventions and places like that. I think it is possible. Now, the rest of the games, the doubles, all the, the PS2, all the games that I don't need, I'm going to put on Whatnot. If you guys don't know what Whatnot is, it's a live, basically community way of selling, social media way of selling things. Everything from pops, from cards, comics, games, everything. So I actually sell on there twice a month. If you've never checked it out, you need to go check it out, guys. I love this app so much. Even if you don't want to buy anything, you just want to hang out and talk about games and talk about comics or whatever it is that you like, you need to go check it out. So I have 2 auctions a month, and I'm going to start selling some of those games on there because, again, I'm just trying to recoup some of my money from that massive collection. But today, the name of the game is to go through all of these NES games. Hopefully we get at least 24 to get to the halfway mark to start going for a complete NES license collection. All right, with that, let's dig into some of these games. All right, guys, here are all of the games that we have yet to go through that we got from Matt. So many friggin' games, guys. Over here is GameCube Player's Choice. Now, he was trying to collect the entire Player's Choice collection as well, but I don't think he quite got there. That may be another thing that we try to complete at some point. And then we have NES, some N64, N64, Super Nintendo, and then Sega right there, and PS2. So the name of the game today is to go through just the NES stuff. We will go through everything else at some point, but the name of the game today is NES. So going over here to the collection. Now, thankfully, these are in alphabetical order, so I'm gonna be able to go through all of these games, pick out games that I think that I may not have, and then check alphabetically to see if I have it or not. So we have 315 licensed Nintendo games in the collection, and I believe, again, the number was 677. So the number we have to get to is 339. I believe 339. That makes 24 games. We need 24 different NES games in here for us to start going for a complete NES set, and I think it's gonna happen. I think there's 200 plus NES games in there, so I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. We're gonna go through just the NES games, and what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pick out the games I think I don't have and just kind of make a pile of them, because I also want you guys to see what games are all in here. But then once I get that pile, I'm gonna take that pile, go over there, see which ones I do or don't have, and then I want to show you those games that we actually get to add to the collection. I'll give you guys a little bit of info on those games, price, and things like that. So let's start digging into these 2 boxes. All right, we got a little bit of space now, and I'm gonna try to do this just off the top of my head by memory to see if we have any of these. So, Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2, Fabio's Revenge. Have it. I know I have that one. Clax. I'm fairly certain I have Clax. I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile. Maybe on Clax. Karate Champ, I know I have. Home Alone, I do have, and I have it boxed right over there. Yeah. Let me scoot over. We got the Home Alone stuff. Home Alone 2. And Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Complete in box. Here is Hook. I actually don't know if I have Hook on the NES. I think I have it for the Super Nintendo, but don't think I have it on the NES. Gyromite, I know I do have. Fighting Golf, Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. Very, very violent game. Why would you fight, Lee? Pretty sure we have that one. I don't think I have this one. I could have more. I might add more games than I think to our existing collection. I don't know if I have Akari Warriors 2. Yo, this could be good. This could be good. Castle Quest. Now, this is a somewhat uncommon game, but I do have this one. Golf. Guys, good old golf. Is that Mario? It's debatable. It definitely looks like Mario. You guys tell me down in the comments if you guys actually think that's Mario or not. Mighty Bomb Jack, I know I do have. Whoa, what is this? So not licensed, but Exodus, Journey to the Promised Land. Goodness gracious, that is intense. I know I don't have that, but that won't go towards our total. Akari Warriors, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna make a stack, guys. Again, making a stack of games that I may or may not have. Highlight, have that one. Iron Tank I have. Now I know I don't have this one. Temple of Doom. I have one Indiana Jones game on the NES, but I don't have this one. This looks pretty cool. I'll throw up some gameplay of some of these games so we can kind of see what they look like. That is a beautiful, beautiful label. Tetris, I actually have this complete in box already. Beetlejuice, now this one I have, but that is a very clean label. A lot of these too, if they're like a better label, I'll probably switch them out. And label upgrade. Joust, actually a favorite of mine back when I was a kid. I loved me some Joust. I have it already though. Here is Heavy Shreddin'. Man, that is serious. Look at that guy. Breakthrough. I have never seen this game before, so fairly certain I don't have it. Look at some of these labels. They're clean. They're so clean. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, have it, but maybe an upgrade. All right, I know I don't have any of the Donkey Kong games on NES. There's like the math one, and then there's this one. I don't have that one. Airwolf, I'm uncertain. I've never seen this one before. Turbo Racing, 45 cents? What? What a deal! Adventure Island, have it. Double Dragon, have it. Great game. Here is good old Duck Hunt. This is just like digging for treasure, guys. I love this. I actually do have this Mad Max game. It's not super common, but I do have it, and I actually have Monster Party. So, unfortunately, don't get to add those to the collection. Maybe I'll go, let's see, Hollywood Squares. Okay. I've never seen that one before either. Bigfoot, I do have. Clue Land. Okay, now I've been looking for this game for quite a while, and I never see it. So Clue Land, I'm fairly certain we do not have. We'll add that one. We actually picked this up last year, so good there. Bad Street Brawler, fairly certain we have. Black Bass, guys, who likes fishing games? Like who is at home right now just playing a good old fishing game on the NES or Super Nintendo or N64? Probably no one. Viper, I'm gonna go a bit faster because we got a lot of games to go through. Gyrus is great. I don't know. It's like, you know, I collected these games back in the day, but I don't remember if I have it now or not. Galaga, I know I have. I'll probably put these all in order at some point as well and just check over there to see if I'm in fact correct, because I don't know. There's just so many in here. Load Runner. Dude, Matt, I don't know where you got these, but they're gorgeous. Have never, ever seen this one. Laser Invasion? Oh my goodness. Now this one has to have a little bit of value. I might throw up some prices too as we go through some of these, as I've never seen that one. I don't think we'll have any problem getting to 338 games. I really don't. Section Z I have. This is a Capcom game, and I feel like it's a fairly cheap Capcom game, but it's actually decent. Got Strider. Now this one, Flying Warriors. Don't know. It looks like a team of people, man. Was this a show? What was Flying Warriors? I don't know. All right, Star Force. I know I have that one. I love Spy Hunter so much. This game is so good. No one ever talks about that game. I feel like it is a forgotten gem. Shadowgate, no, don't like those point and click games. Good old Mario, another Spy Hunter, wow, double Spy Hunter. Now here is that Indiana Jones game, but this is the Tengen, however you want to say it, version of the game. So I'll probably keep that too, just because I don't have it already. Right here, I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Let's go 4 at a time. Let's go 4 right here. Little Mermaid, Loops, and Dream Master Gauntlet 2. Have all of those, so I don't think I have that one. Pretty sure I don't, at least. Freedom Force, I don't remember seeing in my collection at any point. Demon Sword, I do have. Pro Wrestling, I have. Pinbot, I do have. And then Platoon, I have. Ooh, Puss in Boots. Now, this looks fun. Have never played this one before. I'm assuming some kind of like fun platformer, maybe? Basically, a label completely destroyed there. We'll put that one off to the side. Ice Hockey, 1943, Desert Commander. Got those. Caveman games, which actually, here, this game right here, guys, I played this a ton back in the day.
Now for the Dinobot. Eat him! Eat him! No post-game interview there.
Caveman games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You get bitten, you get eaten.
I loved it so much. It's probably not great, doesn't hold up now, but back in the day, I dug it. Rad Racer 2, you don't see too often. Fairly certain though, I have all of those. I might not have this second one. I'm gonna put that one off to the side. Now, this is gonna surprise y'all. This is one that is not in the collection. I don't ever see it. Bobble. Now, really fun game. I played this a lot back in the day too, but just it has escaped me. It has escaped me. Okay, I said earlier that Donkey Kong, I didn't have any of those. I actually do have the Donkey Kong Classics game. I hope I'm right on these. I might be completely wrong. High Speed. Wait, what does that say? World's #1 pinball? Wow, good job. Good job, High Speed. Solstice, Swords and Serpents. Life Force, yep. Got those. Y'all hang with me. I know those are pretty common. We got Burger Time, Chess Master Commando. Good there. There's just so many. Dragon Warrior 2, Kid Icarus, and Alpha Mission. I think actually 3. We're gonna take out 3 of those and see. Right there. Look at the stack so far. Ooh. Have this on the Sega Genesis, but definitely not on Nintendo. 8 Eyes is another one. Okay. I think we might actually hit like 40 games that are going to be new to the collection. 720. It's debatable. Hogan's Alley. Everyone's got that. Pac-Man. Afterburner. Alien Syndrome. Some of these just like cover arts are just so cool to me. I mean, that is intense for an NES game. You pop it in, you're like, that doesn't look anything like the game I wanted to play. What we got? Gumshoe, Amagon, 1942. Great game, guys. 1942 is so good. Almost at the bottom of this box. I told you I was gonna go fast, guys. I know you probably want to see these up close a little more, but we don't got the time. We don't got the time. Jeopardy, maybe. I think there's like 5 Jeopardy games. Days of Thunder, Gremlins 2, I actually do have. Great game. Love that one. And then we got Days of Thunder. Fairly certain that is going to be added. Dino Wars, Defender, and Castle of Dragon. These are 3 games that I don't see very often either. We'll check on those. Arkanoid, Abadox. Dr. Mario. Abadox, I'm fairly certain we need. And we got Dick Tracy, Athena, and A Boy and His Blob. I'm going to check on 2 of those. Okay, so far we have basically these games right there and that stack that I am unsure about. So I'm going to put those off to the side and we'll keep digging into this box. Let's keep it going. Second box and final box. Right off the bat, here are 2 that look unfamiliar. Where's Waldo? I loved me some Where's Waldo back in the day. I had like 3 of the books and hurt my brain trying to find Waldo all the time, but I found him. Every once in a while I found him. Amazing game. I think Matt actually talked about this in our video. I'm gonna start pulling out just some of these that I know I already have. I talked about this in that last episode too. Didn't even know that was a game on the NES. One of my favorite games of all time. Oh, Journey to Silius. If you've never played this, you got to check it out. So good. I like the music. I love the graphics. I just love the gameplay. Great platformer. Check it out. Another Wheel of Fortune game. I don't know if that's the same one or not. This one looks unfamiliar. And then Solomon's Key, Time Lord. We just picked up Time Lord not too long ago. If I'm just even slightly unsure, I'm going to start putting them off to the side because you just don't know. You just don't know. Win, lose, or draw. That spot is rough, y'all. It's just like a piece of paper on there or something. Where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Didn't know there was a Snoopy game. Another game I played a lot back in the day as a kiddo. Bionic Commando. Ooh, doggies. Now, this is one of those games that's really good, but fairly cheap. You can actually get this game fairly cheap and have a good time. Spy versus Spy. Stinger is actually decently uncommon. Oh, okay, so this is a game that haven't seen or have ever even heard about. Spelunker. Y'all tell us down below if this game is worth checking out. Let's do a couple at a time here. We got Tom and Jerry. This could get wild, y'all. This could get wild. Got him. Skater Die 2. Not sure. I actually just sold my Mega Man 2 on Whatnot just because I had a bunch of Mega Man stuff and I was like, I feel like I have to have a game with it, and I sold mine, and here, look, there it is. Really clean copy of Popeye. Skater Die 2, don't see that one as often. Shinobi, ooh, Tenjin Shinobi. Don't got that one. Good old Monopoly. Ultima, I just was never a fan of these type games. I know people loved playing these back in the day, especially on like computer, but just was never for me. This is one of the most intense cover art ever. Look at this. Look at this guy. guy, he is squeezing out a poo-poo right there. That's what he's doing. Just 2 more stacks, guys. 2 more. Double Dragon, Stealth, have all those. Don't have that one right there. That looks to be decently obscure. Have all those. Don't know what this one is. Rolling Thunder. Got it. Wild Gunman. Guys, this was the game that Marty played on Back to the Future. Back to the Future 2, I believe, to be specific.
Use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
All right, here is another Jeopardy game. Seriously, I don't even know how many Jeopardy games there are. There's probably at least 5 on the NES. We'll pull that one out just to make sure. Good old Willow over there. Got him. Ooh, whoa, look at this one, guys. Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu. Whoa, didn't know this was a game. Awesome.
The action's so hot, it'll make your fingers burn. Look for it today, Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu by Hudson Soft.
We got Jackal, RoboCop, Battle of Olympus, Mario. There's quite a few of these Mario games in there. Pretty sure I'm good on those. Another stack, Skater Die, Bad Dudes, Trojan, all pretty common right there. Ultima, I will check on. Okay, Yonoid, awesome game. Godzilla, okay. Let's see, let's check out. I'm just like swimming in a sea of NES games right now. Godzilla, Monster of Monsters. Check it out. Love it. Ghosts and Goblins, Deja Vu, Russian Attack, Road Blaster, RC Pro-Am. Okay, we got Wall Street Kid, and then these 2 middle games are notable. First one is Clash at Demon Head. This is in my top 10 games as a kid, playing as a kid. I love this one so much, rented it multiple times. One of those cool games where you have to like back, it's like a platformer, side-scrolling, but it's got RPG elements, and you go back and forth and do different things, and it's an amazing game. And then this is one that Matt told me to check out, Conquest of the Crystal Palace. So we'll give that a look. Predator, Rollerball, Silent Service, and then a beat-up tennis. Super Pitfall, I could potentially need that one. We're almost to the end, guys. We got 3 Stooges and Yoshi, not sure, so I'm just gonna put them right there. Ring King, Star Voyager, and Remote Control. Here's one of those, is it Quattro? No, this is Micro Machines, the game. So this isn't licensed, but this is by Comerica. And I loved Micro Machines back in the day. Whoa, what is that for? If you guys know what the back of that does, let us know. All right, we got T&C Surf Design, great game, Master Blaster, Ultimate Air Combat. We'll check out, not sure on that one. Here is World Class Track Meet, Friday the 13th. Muscle, that's one that I don't think I've even heard of before. Oh, look at that cover. Just a wrestling game? Tag Team Match, Muscle. Down to the very end, guys, we got games that are pretty common. Mechanized Attack is one that you don't see too often. I think I need this one. We picked this game up in a episode of the $10 game collection, but then we sold it because we needed money. So I know for sure that one we do not have. Swordmaster, did he tell me about this one? I think this one might be a PAL region one. If it's the original one, that game is crazy expensive. And then we got NES Open, World Class Track Meet, Duck Hunt, Tetris. Don't need those. Last couple games, as all the games are just falling around me. Side Pocket, the billiards game, Side Pocket, and then the original Metal Gear. Okay, I probably didn't even do this very well, guys, but for now, these games and these games are the ones I'm going to check out to see if we can add them to the collection, hopefully get to at least half of the complete NES licensed game collection. All right, guys, after a full hour, just double checking all of the games from both boxes, checking over there in our inventory to see what games we did or did not have, here we are. These are the games we're adding to the collection. I am blown away. Seriously, there were so many games in here I didn't even realize that I needed. We needed 24 games. 24 games to decide if we were going to start going for a complete NES set, and we have 108. There's 108 games that we are adding to the collection. So we went from 315 to now we are jumping to 423 licensed NES games. I got a couple things I want to talk through. Here are the non-licensed games. We got Micro Machines, did not have this one. Afterburner, Clax, Miss Pac-Man, Indiana Jones, and the Temple of Doom. We have the regular licensed version as well. Alien Syndrome, King of Kings, Exodus, and Shinobi. So these aren't going to count towards, you know, our set that we're trying to complete, but still cool to get. If I find those, you know, and I don't have them, I'm still gonna pick those up. So I want to talk through a couple things. The main thing that I'm surprised by is how many commons I didn't have in the collection. So like what I mean by that is I know that I've had baseball in the collection, but I just assume I have it. Like every time I pick up this game in a lot, you know, whenever I see it at, you know, a flea market or something, I don't get it because I'm like, well, surely I have baseball. I didn't have baseball in the collection, really. Same thing with TNC Surf Design. I have probably gotten rid of this game or put it, you know, bundled it with consoles whenever I've sold them, you know, 10 times in the past couple years, but I just assume I have it. So this is the same thing with a ton of these games. I'm like, I just assumed that I had, you know, Double Dribble. Like, how in the world did I not have Double Dribble in the collection? And there's just dozens of games like that. So a couple of the better games that we get to add. Clue Land, it's like a $40 game. Did not have that. We got Jackie Chan. I think this was our most expensive game that we're adding to the collection. I think it's like 82 bucks, something crazy like that. Wild Gunman. Now I actually picked up this game at a store like maybe a year ago for $2.99 at a game store, and I flipped it for the $10 game collection. We made quite a bit of money, but this has actually went up to like around 40 bucks. And then the other notable one I wanted to talk through is Ultimate Air Combat. This is one of those very unassuming games. I think it's worth like 40 bucks. Never would have thought that would have been worth that much. But guys, 108 games. We are going for a complete NES licensed set. 108 games being added to the NES collection. We are over halfway now, 423 games. Now I know there are a ton of games on this list that are super expensive, super rare, hard to get, but I believe we can do it. We can do this. I'm headed to some conventions soon. We'll pick up some there, and hopefully just along the way at flea markets and lots of games in bundles, we'll be able to pick up games. And I'm believing this year, by the end of the year, that we will get to 500. That's my goal for the end of 2022, is to get to 500 NES games in the collection. Guys, as always, thank you for hanging out, for watching the video. If you would like the video, it helps out so much. Subscribe if you have not already, and until next time, peace.